Welcome to RankLens. Today, we count down the top 10 most audacious tunnels ever drilled. Humans have always wanted to go through mountains. Not around them, not over them, through them. For centuries, that was impossible. But then, piece by piece, engineers cracked the code. They conquered stone. They mastered water. They bent gravity to their will. And when they did, everything changed. Trade routes opened. Nations connected. Entire economies rewired overnight. This is the countdown of the tunnels that did it. The audacious bores that said, impossible, and drilled anyway. From the earliest breakthroughs to the deepest depths, we're counting down the 10 most ambitious tunnels ever excavated. And trust me, the #1 entry might surprise you. Let's get started. At number 10, the Lærdal Tunnel. This 2,000 Norwegian marvel is the world's longest road tunnel at 24.5 kilometers, a staggering length that surpassed every road tunnel before it. What makes it audacious isn't just the distance, though. For the first time, engineers realized they had to fight driver hypnosis head-on. They carved 3 massive caverns inside the tunnel, rest stations of sorts, and lit them with structured colored lighting to keep drivers alert. It replaced a treacherous mountain pass that became impassable in winter, giving Western Norway a reliable year-round road link. Before Lærdal, winter meant isolation. After it, commerce flowed. At number 9, the St. Gotthard Road Tunnel. In 1980, at 16.9 kilometers, this was the world's longest road tunnel. But length wasn't the real battle. The real enemy was the Alps themselves, specifically the notoriously unstable schist rock that wanted to crush anything humans dared to put through it. Engineers had to pioneer new alpine motorway tunneling techniques to survive the stone. The payoff was enormous. They replaced a seasonal mountain pass with a reliable year-round crossing, anchoring what is now Europe's busiest north-south freight corridor. That traffic, billions in goods annually, flows because engineers refused to accept that the Alps were an impassable barrier. At number 8, the Holland Tunnel. In 1927, beneath the Hudson River between Manhattan and New Jersey, this tunnel opened, and it solved a problem that had killed and sickened thousands. It was the world's first mechanically ventilated vehicular tunnel. Before Holland, motor vehicles in tunnels meant carbon monoxide poisoning, silent, invisible, lethal. Engineers installed a mechanical ventilation system that forced air through and fumes out. Every road tunnel that followed, every one, owes its existence to that innovation. Tragically, Chief Engineer Clifford Holland died before the tunnel's opening and never saw his life's work completed. The tunnel bears his name and honor. What seemed impossible became standard practice. At number 7, the Hoosac Tunnel. Completed in 1875, this Massachusetts bore is where American tunnel engineering grew up, and it was brutal. For roughly 25 years, workers blasted through rock using a weapon that had never been used at scale in American tunneling: nitroglycerin. They also wielded pneumatic drills, powered by compressed air, not pickaxes, to punch through the stone faster than human muscle ever could. The cost was staggering. Nearly 200 workers died opening this tunnel. But it opened a direct rail link from Boston westward into the American interior, and suddenly the Northeast was connected to the continent. That connectivity fueled the Industrial Revolution. It was worth the sacrifice. At number 6, the Simplon Tunnel. Completed in 1906 at 19.8 kilometers, this was the world's longest railway tunnel of its era, carved through the Alps with early 20th century drills that were powerful but crude. The audacity wasn't just the length, it was the heat. Underground temperatures climbed to 55 degrees Celsius, hot enough to cook a human. Engineers ran cold water pipes through the tunnel to keep the rot from expanding and collapsing. They also battled catastrophic flooding that nearly halted work multiple times. But they pushed through, and by 1922, a second parallel bore was finished, forming the twin tunnel system that still carries freight today. Sheer determination turned geological nightmare into trans-alpine lifeline. At number 5, the Gotthard Base Tunnel. This 2016 marvel is the world's longest railway tunnel at 57 kilometers, and the engineering is staggering. Excavation reached 2,300 meters beneath alpine peaks, nearly a mile and a half of overburden pressing down. At that depth, pressure and heat tried to kill the project, but 21st century technology fought back. The payoff was concrete. It cut Zurich to Milan train travel time by roughly 1 hour. 1 hour saved on a major European freight route is billions in economic efficiency. It's a monument to what modern engineering can achieve when money, vision, and technology align. At number 4, the Seikan Tunnel. This 1988 beast is 54 kilometers long and bores roughly 100 meters below the seabed, making it the deepest undersea rail tunnel ever drilled. The challenge: catastrophic undersea geology. During construction, workers hit submerged mudslides and sudden water surges that threatened to drown the entire project. For over 2 decades, engineers fought an ocean determined to crush them. But they linked Honshu and Hokkaido, Japan's 2 largest islands, creating a backbone for national commerce and mobility. It didn't just move goods, it unified a nation. At number 3, the Channel Tunnel, the Chunnel. In 1994, after millennia of separation, Britain and France were finally connected by a fixed link beneath the English Channel. The undersea section spans roughly 38 kilometers, the longest subsea tunnel bore in history. But here's what's wild. Engineers drove 3 tunnels simultaneously, 2 main rail bores and 1 service tunnel in between, all pressure balanced, all meeting with millimeter precision deep underwater. It ended Britain's physical isolation and rewired European freight and passenger maps overnight. For the first time in recorded history, you could drive a vehicle from London to Paris underground. That's not engineering, that's destiny. At number 2, the Thames Tunnel. Completed in 1843, this London landmark is not the longest tunnel, not the deepest, not the most modern, but it was the first. No human had ever successfully drilled a tunnel beneath a navigable river. Everyone said it was impossible. Water would rush in and drown the workers. Then, Mont invented the tunneling shield, a massive, revolutionary device that protected workers from catastrophic flooding while they excavated. Construction flooded and halted repeatedly over 18 years, but Brunel's shield held. And when it opened, the template was set. Every subway tunnel worldwide, New York, Paris, Tokyo, uses a descendant of Brunel's shield. It wasn't the biggest, it was the one that started it all. At number 1, the Fréjus Rail Tunnel, also called the Mont-Cenis Tunnel. Completed in 1871, this 13.7-kilometer alpine bore is the audacious peak of this countdown, because it wasn't just about drilling through rock. Engineers invented the pneumatic rock drill specifically to bore through the Alps, a brand new weapon wielded for the first time at this scale. Before the pneumatic drill, tunnels took decades. This was still brutally slow, but revolutionary for its era. And when it finished, it opened the Paris-Rome rail axis, slashing alpine crossing time from 2 grueling days to under 1 hour. It united continental Europe through sheer determination and invention. That's why it's number 1. It didn't just conquer stone. It fundamentally changed how humans tunnel. These 10 tunnels tell a story of human refusal. Refusal to accept barriers. Refusal to believe in impossible. Each one opened a route, a trade artery, a migration path, a commerce corridor that changed economies and nations overnight. From Brunel's shield to the modern TBM, from nitroglycerin to pneumatic drills to 21st century technology, Each tunnel demanded innovation the world had never seen before. And that pattern continues. The next impossible tunnel is being planned right now, under sea, under mountain, deeper, longer, more ambitious, because humans will always want to go through the barriers that stand in our way, and will always find a way to drill. And that's the top 10 most audacious tunnels ever drilled. If you enjoyed this countdown, subscribe to RankLens for more.